This is kind of my new hobby. I picked up a slide rule at an estate sale last week and have sort of been teaching myself how to use one. I suppose, like, not all, but most of us in this room were probably educated well past the slide rule era. Slide rules are basically based on logarithms. They are a logarithmic scale, or several logarithmic scales broken out along a straight edge. If you think about it like a ruler, if you take two rulers and you line them up so that the 0 point on one ruler goes to 4, and then you count down, 2 more on the next ruler, you can look down and see 6. And so that's a basic addition. Giving you a logarithmic scale allows you to do multiplication and division rather than addition and subtraction. First discovered in 1614, John Napier discovered that A times B is 10 log A plus log B, or A divided by B is 10 log A minus log B. Here you can see basic multiplication with the slide rule. You line up the 1 position on one slide with the number 2, and then if you just move out each individual one on the top slide, you can see 2 points to 4, 3 points to 6, 4 points to 8, and on and on. I can keep my iPhone and switching previews here. This is a picture of my slide rule. I tried to clean it up so that it would work a little better, but you can actually see here the 2 to 4 lining back to the 1 and 2 positions. It's just not a very good photograph. I'm trying to take it with my iPhone. You can also factor out factors of, or you can also just remove factors of 10 from your multiplication and add them back at the end. This is actually from Wikipedia. You can see I'm pulling out 42.2. This is all analog. It's not digital, so numbers are not precise. 42.2, 16.6. Since I'm factoring out my one level of 10 here, when I add it back, it's pointing to 7. We're going to call that 700 instead of 70. Pickett is the company that made my slide rule. My slide rule is a circa 1950-something slide rule. They continue to make them well into the early 80s. The Pickett scales are the most common set of labels on slide rules. There are actually a number of different systems for slide rules, depending on who manufactured them. These guys just made a lot of them. The one that I'm sitting around is the Pickett 120. It's got 4 inner scales and 3 inner scales and 4 outer scales. This is a great line from the Pickett manual. When people have difficulty learning to use a slide rule, it's usually not because of the instrument is difficult to use. The reason is likely that they don't understand the mathematics on which the instrument is based or the formulas which they're trying to evaluate.
RTFM.
If you can't use our product, you're an idiot. That's not true. To be perfectly honest, I don't know entirely how to use all the various combinations of scales on my slide rule. These are the ones that I do know. The C and D scale, you can see there's a C scale on the inside, the D scale is on the outer loop. That's for basic multiplication. CI is the inverse of the standard C scale, so that will allow you to compute reciprocals. You can see the example there. You line up 2 and 5, and it will give you 0.2, since 0.2 is the reciprocal of 0.5. A and B will let you line up to find square roots. The S and D pair are sine and cosine. Again, inversion on the other side of the scale to find cosine. T and D will allow you to find tangents. Same, there's a row of angle measurements on the inner scale that you can see. And then L and any of the other scales will give you the log base 10 of whatever the value of the other scale is, since the L scale is just a standard ruler's measurement. That's the end of my presentation.